Talk me through some of the economics of, say, like 150 euro sneaker. How much would that cost to like manufacture? And at the end of season, if they're selling it down for like 50% off, are they still making money, or at that point are they just trying to recoup?
It's a tricky question when you talk about sneakers, because sneakers is the most profitable business. Actually.
Okay, let's choose a different one.
because sneakers actually it's quite easy to make. You know, so you can you use mold to do the sole, very easy, and the assembly line are very simple. It's more complicated to make like regular boots or regular shoes like you can find in many brands, like the one I have here. It takes a lot of hours, to make a shoe like this. It takes more than 2 hours of manufacturing to do a shoe like this.
Versus how long for a sneaker?
Sneakers, it's a third of the time of that.
A third,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very easy to do, and also because you have less steps, the material is also cheaper, and so it's all about man-hour cost. The more man-hour cost you're going to use, the more expensive is going to be the product. And the shoe industry is actually, and I'm talking about France, I'm not talking about other countries, even though I've seen things in East Europe or North Africa, it's still a very old-fashioned industry. It's very manual. Things are handmade.
Interesting.
So
that's in my mind, and I feel like people of my generation's mind, everything in factories is made by robots. We're just like, oh yeah, you just have an assembly line, and that's just not the case.
The more automatized, the most automation you can find in a factory for shoes is going to be for sneakers.
Okay.
That's why they're cheap. And that's why they are able to make like a crazy margin on that. When you see those luxury brands, I'm not going to give name, but some of them, they had these famous sneakers, which were basically a sole with a knit upper on it.
Oh yeah. I feel like I know.
Yeah, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they were black and white mostly.
Yeah.
And
then everybody copied them.
And this, what was the retail price? It was maybe
like 1,000 or something.
Well, it was 1,000 or something. Yeah. And I think the manufacturing cost was maybe 50.
Wow. Okay.
That's it.
That's good markup.
It's a really good markup. Yeah, exactly. And actually, surprisingly, the markup is less good on shoes like that. It all depends of the brand, of the power of the brand, because obviously you are when your name is Hermes, you can multiply by 20 the cost of your shoes to have your markup margin. That's very easy. When you have a less famous brand, you can do times 5. That's it. That's not a lot. But back to your question, it's technically the most consuming part for making a shoes. You have 5 steps to make a shoes. You technically, the most consuming steps are the one to make the uppers, because you need to cut the leather, you need to stitch together the leather, you need to give him the shape. This is really, really time consuming. Okay. And so that's where you need to be really strong at selecting the country where you're going to manufacturing your upper. Because you want to have a man-hour cost which is cheaper. Okay. Obviously, when you try to do upper in France, it's really, really hard because the man-hour cost is so expensive that quickly your shoe cost is going to the roof.
How much more expensive is the manufacturing cost?
It can be from double to triple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a big difference.
It's absolutely. It's not the same country. There's a lot of protections in France. There is the medical insurance, there is retirement, there is all of this. So someone needs to pay for that. And in the end, the person who's paying for it is the customer.